Thanks for joining us on AccuWeather Weekend, getting the sights and imagery from the past couple of hours. A lot of that coming from either the Midwest or into portions of the South, where we saw these damaging tornadoes, some possibly as strong as an EF3 with early estimates.
Yeah, thanks for joining us on AccuWeather Weekend. I'm Anna Azallion, and we're continuing to see and get more information about these storms and about the damage.
Yeah, it's going to take some time, of course, as many are still getting out to kind of assess everything that has gone on. We do want to start with a look at where the storm is on the move, too, because it is still trying to work its way into portions of the nation here that are towards the East Coast, which means some more rain. Places like Michigan, rounds of rain have moved through. The first wave of energy is actually working its way into Canada, but that second piece is kind of pushing its way through the Ohio-Mississippi River confluence, and because of that, Kentucky, some thunderstorms there and a lot of severe thunderstorms to the south. Then,
yeah, down into the southeast, we've had a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings, even some tornado warnings over the last couple of hours.
Dry weather in between, a good break until the northwest action there, which is going to leave places like seeing some of the damage there on your screen, and that's obviously created quite a few power outages, especially across Missouri. We're still trying to recover from yesterday. More than 100,000 customers without power through the eastern tier. A few wind reports, most of these coming in from thunderstorm reports. I could add on more of those dust storm reports, obviously from Friday too across Texas and New Mexico. Far-reaching. Has had our share of damage from this storm system. It continues to work its way east. There are still some severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings on the board, so make sure you're staying weather aware with the latest from that. You can see, though, it's mostly about that heavy rain and thunderstorm activity throughout the south. This is our focus, and with any of these storms, damaging wind is still a threat. We're still talking about a few isolated tornadoes possible. This line has to push off the East Coast, which it's going to take some time to do, especially through the eastern Carolina. We get there, we do have that risk for severe weather highlighted in a moderate risk. That's 2 out of 4 on the scale from Virginia, even the Delmarva on south towards northern Florida. This is going to be our greatest concern for severe weather today. Still that southerly pull off the Atlantic coming through, feeding some of these thunderstorms. So much of the southeast, and just a few morning showers there for eastern North Carolina, which means it's a good day to clean up, do some of that recovery process. What is it left behind? Power outages, too. Still several of them across the state of Missouri, 60,000 customers without power there. We almost have that much in Georgia and North Carolina. As we've had hail reports, flooding reports, and those red icons coming in with tornado reports. So you can see several of them. Friday night setup, that's actually what produced a lot of these tornado reports here across the Ohio Valley into the middle Mississippi Valley. Farther south, you can see these tornado reports that came in from yesterday afternoon into yesterday evening, that threat across Mississippi and Alabama. We are still tracking some of those same thunderstorms here off towards the east, including a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings, tornado warnings, so we straight line wind threat here. We watch these thunderstorms keep working east, kind of refueling here with that those rounds of heavier rainfall as the core of the energy lifts northward. Hopefully it won't be too much in the way of tornadic activity, but we'll still have to watch through the eastern Carolinas as we head into this evening, because some of those thunderstorms could be strong to severe. A lot of this rain is persistent overnight for the eastern Carolinas. We see it trail off through Florida, but as it moves out into tomorrow morning, we'll wake up to some wet weather in the Outer Banks before everything quiets down. So there's those showers, mostly for the morning as you look towards eastern North Carolina. Beyond that, so many of us cooler, drier, nicer as we get into the start of the work week, which is some really welcomed news here from all threats of severe weather. But flooding can be a little bit tricky because there's some hidden dangers that you might not be able to see at first. As we work our way through today, I was actually just about to head over to the storyteller, but you can see the rain is still working its way on through to Michigan at this point in time. Some snow on the back side of this storm system does produce little to no accumulation in a place like Chicago, for example, so we are wet for so many here across the Northeast. Just take a look at Buffalo. Soggy Sunday for you, temperatures near 70 degrees, Pittsburgh coast, so be aware that those winds can create some challenges with blowing things around, especially empty recycling bins or trash cans. As we watch this low pressure system try to move offshore, it takes its sweet time to get out of here, which means Monday is going to be wet, especially for coastal New England. I think that's going to be the for Pittsburgh heading into the overnight hours. Then you can see as we move through midnight and beyond, just kind of this wall of wet weather holding on here for coastal New England, especially for parts of Rhode Island, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and into Maine. That holds with us through a lot of Monday before the storm system does finally pull out. So again, taking its sweet time to leave. Once it does so, though, you can end quiet times for us. So this will be pretty nice for those Tuesday into Wednesday that are looking for a warm up. Let's take you to spring break, right? Yeah, I want to get away. Well, let's take you into the northwest, I should say, because we do have some minor delays here, mostly for the chance of some shower activity. Also some strong winds coming into places like Salt Lake City and Reno, for example. And then on top of it, we will have a few floods. We're happy to get the rain in the southeast today because it has been an active start to the wildfire season in the southeast as trees have been down by Hurricane Helene, and that helps fuel some of the flames. Plus, butterfly populations are facing a crisis across the U.S. as their numbers decline at an alarming rate. Our AccuWeather experts break down it all in this week's Climate in the News. Great tips there. And as we look across the south, I know the butterfly population kind of still trying to boom around here. You might want to be tempted to do some yard work, though, because it is going to be quiet out there Sunday. High pressure building in, staying dry, and a lot of us are still trying to clean up after the recent storms, whether it be the dust storms, the wildfires, and of course some of the tornado activity across places like Arkansas. Nice 70s. We have more warmth still to come on your Monday, keeping things very dry here across the southern tier of the nation. We honestly don't change that in the days to come. We will find those temperatures, though, on the rise. It doesn't come with too much in the way of extra humidity. And all great tips there, especially through the west. We often think of that for fire season, especially. Notice, though, not today, fire season. We are talking about wet weather working in Medford. So this is like San Francisco, a few showers late. It's part of the storm system that's coming through both today and into tomorrow. It's going to be more focused on California tomorrow, bringing the snow to the Sierra. Welcome to build that snowpack across the Sierra. As you can see, San Francisco.
Well, thanks for sticking with us here on AccuWeather Weekend. Gusty wind and dry weather in the week of recent storms have made for a So they were talking about Friday's conditions where we did actually see some wildfires, but everything they were talking about, that's going to continue to kind of be relevant throughout the rest of this week as we head into the new work week. Because take a look at the overall pattern for today. We're dry, right? But not just today. This is going to continue. We'll talk temperatures before we get into Monday. Today let's talk about Monday. Here's the overall pattern. Still dry, but warmer air moving in as well. And so once again, we have an increased fire risk that we're talking about, especially this area in the red. That's where we're talking about evacuate if needed, because unfortunately we're looking at a situation where it could be needed once again, not just Monday, but several days of this week. We have another fire risk looking ahead at least through Tuesday. Now, when severe weather, well, while you shouldn't need to evacuate for any reason into the north central region of the country the next couple of days, we do have some winter weather that is going to continue, right? It's March, we bounce back and forth, and that roller coaster is definitely in store for the north central the next couple of days. So we've seen some snow throughout our Sunday, especially in places like Chicago. Not really anything accumulating. Come Monday, most of us are staying dry. We do to the north have some snow, really the most northern portions of Minnesota up into North Dakota as well. But we're going to continue to see some snow as we go throughout the next couple of days. So looking at future radar, we see that system moving into northern Minnesota, northern North Dakota. Then as we continue to play this out, there's another round of snow that's going to sweep in. Now, for some of us, we might see a mix of types of precipitation, maybe some rain, maybe a wintry mix, then some snow. But we do expect accumulation with this system. So we're stopped at Tuesday, 6 p.m. at this point. Most of this will have kind of moved through. This starts Monday night, and then we continue to see the precipitation. It's not going to be for everybody. Some of you might stay completely dry and have a pretty pleasant Monday, Tuesday, but some of you are going to be feeling like it is winter once again. Here's what we're at 8 as our max. We could see some of us getting up to a foot. And of course, that AccuWeather local storm max is 30 inches of snow overall. But just know we're going to bounce back and forth a little bit here as we deal with a little bit of snow and a little